What'd we say? We said hold on to Dylan Cease, and it paid off in a big way on Sunday. We also said win series. I mean, this is the time of the year you don't have to sweep everyone. They've won 7 of 8. Yes, they dropped a game on Saturday in which they had a 4-run lead, but yes, they beat St. Louis in the series, which means they basically ended the season for St. Louis in that wild card conversation. So make your way in and subscribe. We're going to be with you for the next hour. Padres win a series. They are hot, heading for Arizona, winners of 7 of their last 8. We'll talk about some of these deadline acquisitions, and maybe the biggest one was holding on to Dylan Cease, who goes 5 shutout innings today in a 7-3 win. So subscribe, year-on content for you. Smash the like button. I think we're approaching 9,100 subscribers. So help get us to 9,100 subscribers. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you support the channel, we appreciate the super chats. We really do. Click the $ below the chat box. We'll get to all of your super chats here tonight. We'll get them all on screen. If you want to become a member, look at this. Look at this member of the night.
There we go.
Which is on cue. Let me pull this up, Jim. If you become a member tonight by clicking join, you're getting these brand new emojis, the Five Guys, Rockstar GM, and Miller Time emojis. Like these emojis just came out with the trade deadline. And in addition to that, this is on cue.
It is.
Cortez the Killer, who
he will be making it. Yes.
Who's been activated, right? I think he's expected to start maybe as soon as Wednesday for the Padres in Arizona. Nestor Cortez. You're going to get that emoji as well to use in the live chat or the comments. If you become a member, you can gift memberships as well. Just click that join button down below. So a lot to react to, Jim, but a series win. Kind of interesting. They squander a 4-run lead, but they win the series. So I think Padres fans should feel good about where this team is, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
Well, they squandered the 4-run lead last night.
Yep.
Yeah, last night. That might have been Randy Vasquez's last start of the season for the Padres. Potentially.
Let's see. He's down now.
He's down now. You can only, pitch as, quote in quotations, as well as he's pitched before the wheels fall off, because all of his underlining numbers just like he was working with some devil magic out there. And, it reminded me a lot of last year when Matt Waldron, the wheels fell off of Matt Waldron, but he helped the team a lot up until the point where it was like, okay, thanks. Thank you. But we're going to go with this direction now. So yeah, last night, Randy Vasquez, probably last time we'll see Randy. Today, this is exactly what you want to see from Dylan Cease. 5 and dive. Like, don't push it. Give me your 5 best innings. We got the bullpen. Now, he did pitch well. It wasn't like it was like a, stressful 5 innings where he walked 5 and struck out 7, right? But didn't give up a run. Kind of very, that would be very like Blake Snell-esque. Today was very workman-like. 1 hit, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. He was great. Maybe the, not getting traded, it's a sigh of relief, and he doesn't have to worry about that anymore, and he can just go out and focus on the rest of the season. Because, these guys are, they're human beings. There's no way, even though he probably, he told the media multiple times how he was just going about his day. There is no way he's not thinking about it. None. Like, I'm sorry. Every one of these players that is in trade rumors is thinking about it. And so maybe that affected him. I think up until the deadline, not the whole year, but up until the deadline, it could have affected him. And now, knowing that he's staying and he has to have a good second half, hopefully, this is the start of it, and he can breathe a sigh of relief and doesn't have to worry about getting traded. He's going to be here for the rest of the season. The offseason, when it comes, he'll figure that all out, right? But as of right now, like, he knows he is staying in San Diego, and he knows he's on a contender. He has it in him. Can he produce and pitch like this for the rest of the year? I think he can.
Hopefully. Maybe not to this full extent of 5 shutout innings, although I think he can give you more length than that. He threw a ton of pitches in the first inning today, but
30?
got out of it. I think it was 28 pitches
almost
in the first inning, and then he retired 12 of the last 13 batters he faced. And you're right, he didn't really run into any traffic other than in the first inning. And then the bullpen until the 9th did its part until Adrian Morejon didn't. I do want to – what's something I've been thinking about here over the last couple of days is not necessarily something we need to start the show with, but you go back to yesterday And Jeremiah Estrada allows his first runs in forever, right? In a 4-4 game, one was inherited. Then he allows like a 2-run, 2-out double into the corner. They gave the Cardinals a lead they wouldn't give up. And then today you have Morejon come on, and I think the Cardinals had 5 hits in the 9th inning. They brought the tying run to the plate, trailing 7-0. They had the bases loaded there in the 9th inning before Suarez got out of it. And you saw the quote from Schilt last night. He's like, we cannot get 5 innings from our bullpen. Like, the expectation is not to use our bullpen for 5 innings a night. That is not sustainable. That is not our plan. But I'm just thinking about, like, you've got this elite bullpen that everyone's like, man, everything's perfect. We've got this bullpen. If we get a 1-run lead, we're going to win every single game. I don't know if it's going to be as simple as that. The Padres have actually blown 4 4-run leads this year. It's the 3rd highest in baseball. Only 2 teams have blown more 4-run leads this year, and they both have blown 5 4-run leads. I'm just curious, like, this idea that you're going to hold a 3-2 lead and you're going to use 5 relievers to do it, and you're going to do it against like the Dodgers, you're going to do it against the Phillies, and you're going to do it in the postseason. I guess the point of my conversation is I'm thinking more about the offense. Like, you can't sit on 2-1 leads. And I look at what happened today. Offense was really good. I'm thinking about the offense in general. It's been better. We see Laureano homer today. O'Hearn had a base hit over the weekend. Fermin had 2 hits. Mm-hmm. So they're just going to need more offensive production, because I don't know about this strategy of like, well, we got this amazing bullpen. Let's just use that, and we don't need to score. We're just going to win with our bullpen. Maybe, but I mean, they're human beings too, Jim. To your point, Morejon today, Estrada the other day. Like, I don't know if we're going to count on them to be perfect all postseason long. Is my point.
Yeah, Schilt's right. I know he got snippy with the media last night. Yeah. I didn't watch it. I just heard about it. Like, did you watch it?
I didn't. We were talking about it last night, and I wanted to go back and watch it, but I didn't.
Okay. And I agree with him. He can't use the bullpen. It can't be 5 and dives for everybody.
He was even saying 4. Because what did Vasquez go yesterday? He didn't get out of them. Did he start the 5th inning?
Started
4+ innings?
He started the 5th inning, I want to say. Because I think everyone was thinking.
Came on.
Yeah, I think everyone was thinking, like, after the 3rd inning, when the Padres had the lead, you're like, oh, take out Vasquez and go to your bullpen.
Right.
If it was game 4 of the NLDS against the Dodgers, you're doing it.
Do it.
Great.
Yep.
But you're not doing it in a regular season game. Again, I've seen this from so many, like, fans of like, oh, either take out Vasquez or let him pitch, and you let him pitch. I mean, you gotta get some length. You got to get some length.
Yep.
But what I will say is that shit, I just lost my train of thought.
Talking about Schilt getting snippy, the bullpen, relying on the bullpen to go, or starters going 5 and dive, you said.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Shit.
Morejon, Estrada, bullpen, Schilty.
I totally forget. I think I was going to go down the path of, the bullpen. Oh no, here's what I was going to do. You mentioned the offense.
Yep.
Right. And how they need to score more runs. Dude, they had for their standards, for how they've most of the season scored, how they've done offensively in this homestand: 7 runs, 5 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs, 7 runs, 7 runs.
No, 100%. And even before the homestand, dude.
Yeah, like
that 10-game roadie.
So if the bullpen comes in and gives up some runs here, they've done their job the whole season. Offense this series, they did their job. But, I don't think I'm looking at the offense in this series or in this, homestand and being like, oh, they need to score a couple more runs here and there. Like, they did their job. And it's a 5-1 homestand, by the way. I mean, this is an amazing homestand. This homestand is exactly what the doctor ordered heading into the dog days of August here. And their bullpen, I have like no concerns, like none. I know Adrian Morejon today, he was shaky. I know that, the other night bullpen, little shaky, but when it counts, I don't have any worries. These guys are going to give up runs. These guys aren't going to be perfect all the time. Okay. They're gonna, they're going to allow some runs here and there. Okay. But when they get to the postseason, as long as these guys are healthy, man, I got no complaints, no worries about the bullpens. 5-1 homestand could not have been any better.
Here's my point. And no, it doesn't have to do with this homestand. But nobody cares right now about the homestand or the rate. Like, everyone's already forecasting this team into the postseason. And I'm with you. There's 50 games to play. They need to get there. They need to stay healthy. Everything's accurate. But just hear me out. You get to a wild card series and you've got a 2-1 lead in the fourth inning. There's this general belief we're going to see on social media. Go to, like you said, Estrada, whomever, right? Go to Mason Miller right in the fifth inning and hold this lead. Where I almost feel like some of the onus is going to be more on the offense. And maybe it's more capable this year than it was in those critical games last year against the Dodgers. Maybe that was a once-in-a-lifetime not scoring. But consider this. If you're trying to cover 5 innings and preserve a 1-run lead, the odds of you allowing a run in those 5 innings, even if your bullpen ERA is a 2, the odds suggest you're more likely to allow a run than not. Okay? Because just trust me. That means every 5 innings you're giving up an earned run. Actually, more than that. I'm just saying that I just kind of, maybe it's some PTSD from the Dodger series from a year ago. This general belief that the Padres bullpen is so damn good they can sit on any lead all year long. I think that might be a misconception. And I'm going to put it more like I did last year. It's like the offense is going to have to help them out. And again, it's a conversation for another day. But I just go back to that Dodger series. And again, they couldn't win because they didn't score. The bullpen could have been the greatest bullpen in baseball history. But you're right. There's nothing to complain about now. I'm just forecasting this idea that it's going to be the fourth inning and you're going to try to get 18 outs from your bullpen. And that's going to be asking so much. And I just don't know how realistic that's going to be, even with this super pen.
It all depends on situation, how the starter's pitching, the score of the game.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
If it's
100%.
if it's a situation where, let's just say Dylan Cease is out there and he's kind of struggled a little bit, right? But in the 5th inning, you get to the 5th inning, he's at like 87 pitches. Padres have a, 3-2 lead. He's struck out 5, walked 3, right? Then I'm going to the bullpen.
Me too.
But if we get to the 5th inning and he's thrown 61 pitches, Padres lead. Yeah, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit. Padres have a 2-0 lead.
You got to stay with him.
He's going back out there.
100%.
So it's all about situation of the game. And on a Saturday night in August, after the 3rd inning with Randy Vasquez out there, I know that
can't go to the bullpen.
I know that he's got all these new toys. You can't go to Estrada, Morejon, Adam, Mason, and Suarez.
I do wonder now. I said the other night, I don't think they'll do it more than 3 times in the regular season. Now I'm like, are they even going to? It's going to take a perfect storm of like a starter, like you going 4 1/3 innings. And then you just take it from there and you're protecting 1 and 2 run leads for the next 4 or 5 innings. It'll happen. And when it's against the Dodgers and you got to get the game and you're going to chase the thing down to the nth degree and you're going to throw everything at it, it'll definitely happen. I just don't think, based on what Schultz said post-game Saturday, it's his actual desire. I don't think he wants to cover 5 innings with those 5 relievers because it's a long year. And come October, you're going to really need them.
Here's my guess at the earliest, and I don't know how the rotation lines up. Who pitches here? Yeah,
I don't know how some Steers and Cortez here this week, right?
Right. I mean, what I'm forecasting is the game that we could see all 5 in at once. And to me, that game I feel like is at the earliest August 15th against the Dodgers, coming off an off day at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah,
you play a day game on Wednesday against the Giants. You have that night, then a Thursday off day, and then a night game 7-10 start at Dodger Stadium. I don't know who's starting for the Padres that day. If it's Pivetta, maybe not. But if it's like
no chance.
If it's like Sears or Cortez, right, then the 5 guys are ready to go. So I think if we're forecasting or circling the calendar for the first time, we might see all 5 relievers in a game. It could be that day. And then after that, who knows?
I just think it could be when you really have to have it. And I agree with you. It could be a Dodgers game, for example, where you're like, wow, we've got a lead. Their lineup is very good. Let's do everything in our power, even if it means trying to get 15 plus outs from our bullpen. Let's try to preserve the lead. Maybe we wouldn't do it against the Diamondbacks in this exact way, but we're going to do it against the Dodgers. All right, let's get to some of the super chats. 500 of you are here live right now. We appreciate the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. We are 30 subscribers away from 9,100. How about that? If you have not subscribed to the channel, help us get to 9,100 tonight.
Let's go.
Please subscribe. And if you want to become a member, get those new emojis, including the Miller Time emoji, Cortez the Killer. If you know, you know. Click the join button down below. Padres Payne, thank you, man, for the super chat. We appreciate you. He says, having way more fun watching this team lately. Jim just mentioned this point, 44 runs in the last 7 games. That's 6.2 runs per game. That'll work. Most runs in 7 games since Colorado outlier series. Yeah, that's good insight. I mean, they had a good offense. You talked about it recently, maybe when they were 22-10, somewhere around there. You know, their offense was good. And then it was among the worst for close to half a season. And now it's absolutely been much better, not just these 7 games, but I would say since All-Star break, that 10-game road trip, the offense absolutely showed signs of life. So it's encouraging. You're seeing Jackson Merrill homer yesterday. You're seeing Merrill with a bases clearing double in a game like today. Jake Cronenworth homering. It was a triple. I'm sorry for Jackson Merrill. He ended up at third. But I mean, I think I heard actually post-game, maybe on the radio, that Merrill has had a third of his RBIs this year over the last 2 weeks. He's up to 44, which is a decent number considering how much time he's missed. Luis Ariz is scorching hot. He could win a batting title, no joke. Dude. He's hitting 16 straight. That's a career high. Machado had a 10-gamer that ended today. So, like, offensively, dude, I mean, there's a lot to like everywhere, and that's how you end up scoring 6 or 7 runs per game.
Yeah, Luis Ariz is in fuego. He is on fire right now. He's just playing incredible baseball. I mean, at the plate, he's simply amazing with the bat. Manny Machado is consistent as they come. Jackson Merrill, though, is definitely heating up. Yep. I think if he continues to play this way and he continues to stay, you know, this way at the plate, like right now, where's the numbers here? In August, so far, small sample size, right? You know, he's hitting 455 with a 1409 OPS.
That's nice in 2 games.
Maybe 2 games. But hey, you know, it's good. His August and September last year were really good. And that's when like Jackson Merrill went from really good rookie season to, hey, this guy should be rookie of the year season. You know, I remember when I went to Switzerland and it was like every day Jackson Merrill was hitting go ahead or game tying home runs. He was fantastic. Last year in August, John, he hit 303 with a 969 OPS with 7 homers and 23 RBIs. Is that good?
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
And, you know, small sample size right now, but in August already, he's got a, you know, home run, 6 RBIs. He's hitting 455 with a 1409 OPS. With a triple. Is that good? So yeah, he's critically important, as we've talked about. I mean, to have the full thing going, you need Jackson Merrill. And you're right. You got Luis Ariz, you have Manny Machado. I mean, Tatis has been impressive from an on-base percentage clip. He's set a career high in walks. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Although he's only had a few seasons in which he's played over 100 games, which I guess would include right now. And then again, you've added in these pieces that are batting in the bottom third of your lineup and are going to hopefully contribute. I mean, guys like Ramon Laureano, bottom third of your lineup. Fermin, bottom third of your lineup. And again, this lineup is just improved. I mean, it's deeper, and the team is performing at a better clip, including Luis Ariz and Jackson Merrill. Fred Slots and Stuff, thank you, man, for the super chat and your membership. He says, nice to see the 4+ run innings are back. Yeah, 4 runs or more in an inning. That was a great part of last season's team and their success. And then he used the Cortez the Killer emoji there in the comment. We didn't see a lot in the first half, Jim. We talked about it. There was a stretch where they weren't scoring 2 or 3 runs in the game. They haven't had a lot of 2, 3, 4-run home runs this year. 4-run home runs called a grand slam, for those that are wondering. But yeah, I mean, the offense has just been better. It's as simple as that.
The bottom half of their lineup today, John, went 6 for 15. 3 RBIs, 4 runs scored. simply cannot be understated how much of an upgrade the bottom of the lineup is than it was just 5 days ago.
I
mean,
like Laureano a lot. In the limited time now I've seen him
oh,
play, like there's something about I don't know who he necessarily reminds me of, but again, it's cliche. He screams gamer. I love the way he plays defense. I love the way he hustles. He hits and hits for power. Like he's got all this skill set. Like, man, just another bat, another quality piece to a good team. That's what he seems like to me. He's just a quality piece to a good team. And that trade, I think, pays dividends because of Laureano alone. I hope O'Hearn's the same thing, but I'm just seeing it with Laureano. I feel like you see it both ways, so to speak, with his defense and then with his offense as well.
He is, to me, a glue guy. He's a glue piece to a good team. And
yeah, he's a glue guy. I agree.
He's a glue guy. O'Hearn, I mean, they are hitting towards the bottom of the lineup. In other lineups, they should be hitting like 3-4, right? But this lineup, with them at the bottom now, hitting 6 and 7, it just is so much deeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much deeper. Cronenworth hitting 8th. Fermin, 2 for 3 today, a couple hits. It is this offense is doing really well right now. It feels like it's clicking a little bit here. Like you don't feel this like despair watching these games. Like, will the Padres score 3 runs? Will the Padres score a run tonight? No, they're a team right now that they could score 7 runs like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe we're saying that, but it's true. I mean, it's playing out for a couple of weeks, and now it's playing out with a better lineup. So there's more reasons to believe it's sustainable than what we felt after the All-Star break, but they didn't upgrade their lineup as of yet. Ryan, thank you, man, for the super chat. Guys, over here, I think we're 29 subscribers away from 9,100. Please subscribe. Thank you for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. We appreciate your support of the channel. We'll get to all of them. We'll pull them up on screen. If you want to become a member and get those new emojis, click the join button down below. Ryan says August 15th could be King's first start, too. Now, Michael King today, I'm not going to read too much into rehab numbers. I really won't. I don't think this means what is going to happen when he gets back to the major leagues, but the facts are the facts. 3 1/3 innings for El Paso, 4 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. He allowed 2 homers. He did throw 61 pitches, which to me is encouraging. 34 of those were strikes. What's next now for King? Off 61 pitches, does he throw another rehab to get that to 75 to then go to the major leagues? Or does he go 61 pitch rehab back to the major leagues after allowing 6 runs in a rehab start for AAA El Paso?
Not the best rehab outing.
No, not the best, but I mean, whatever.
Not the best. Do I read too much into it? I didn't want to know his velocity. I want to know how he feels after, and we'll go from there. Right?
Yeah, if he feels fine, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I'd probably lean on another rehab start with that performance.
I probably would do one more rehab start.
61 pitches is not a ton, and you get into a major league environment and you're tested and you've thrown 30 pitches an inning, you're susceptible to not throw very deep into a game.
My bet is he goes one more rehab start, 75 to 80 pitches, and then he's back.
Which now to the super chat's point, I mean, I don't know if you really are setting him up to make his first appearance at Dodger Stadium against LA. I mean, maybe throw him right back in. I have no problem with it. In the major leagues, there's no like cupcakes. You don't ease someone in.
Right.
But certainly that would be a challenge for any pitcher to be pitching at Dodger Stadium after not pitching for, I mean, he'd be 3 months removed from appearing in the major leagues at that point.
Yeah. It's probably one of the worst places to make your return not start is at Dodger Stadium against that lineup.
They see a lot of pitches, right?
Yeah, it's either look, there's one of two options here. It's either make another rehab start, which would be Friday.
Correct. Either the 8th or the 9th.
And then say you do it on the 8th. Well, then you're lined up to pitch on the 13th against the Giants.
Yeah, I'd prefer the Giants than the Dodgers.
A 12:45 game up in the Bay Area. or you give him an extra day and you go on the 9th, and then you're scheduled for the 15th against the Dodgers. Or if you want to push it back even more, then you're starting that Monday game against the Giants at home.
I mean, you throw some of the Wolves like that. I mean, it is Michael King. His numbers speak for themselves. But,
They do.
I mean, you are asking for a lot.
Yes, you
A
are.
road start. I mean, you're asking your bullpen to cover 6 innings because you can't expect more than 3-4 innings out of Michael King in that environment. That's just now he could prove me wrong. I just think it's a lot to ask of someone in that scenario, but maybe it is King who's been very good for them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Every
so often, YT, thank you for the super chat. He says, we got to give Captain David Morgan, I could do that with an emoji, his flowers. His year's been awesome, dude. Now, he's typically pitching when the team is trailing, but if you look at his numbers overall, I think opponents are hitting like 160 off him. He's got I think a sub-2 ERA. I mean, he's been absolutely terrific, and he is stuck with all these moves and all these changes and all these additions. He has stuck, and he's pitched a ton for this team, over the last month and a half or whatever it is.
Yeah, not a small sample size. I mean, he's at 29 innings pitched this year. He's got 28 strikeouts and a 1.14 whip, a 1.86 ERA, and 25 appearances.
Wow.
That's really good. Really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nice to have a guy that if you are trailing in a game, you put him out there and you have confidence that he's going to keep it at whatever the score is. Because there's a lot of times like they're trailing, you put in the guys that aren't your high leverage guys that have like 4 or 5 ERAs and things could get kind of wonky. And everyone yells when Yuki Matsui is out there. And it's like, why is Yuki pitching? It's like, well, he's got to pitch because the Padres are trailing. You're not using your top relievers, guys. David Morgan gives Schulte the confidence when they're trailing, go out there, keep it at, whatever it is, and we're good. And vice versa. If the Padres have a big lead, like today until the 9th inning, throw him out there and you're not really worried. So, yeah, he has had a fantastic year for this team so far.
Yeah, he's been terrific. I'm glad we got the super on him because we're not going to touch on him a lot with those other 5 relievers, and he doesn't typically pitch with a lead. And you don't spend a ton of time on individual relievers, but yeah, he's had a phenomenal year. Andrew, thank you, man, for the super chat. He says, team is looking amazing. Haven't been this excited since Tony and Ricky. Heard Java Joe might be ready for playoffs. Thoughts, LFGSD. You're going to hear this narrative a lot in the second half of the year. He threw his first true bullpen today, by the way,
I saw that.
at Petco Park. His first true bullpen since undergoing Tommy John surgery. It's been probably, what is the months on that? 9 months since Tommy John. It was October, and it's now August, so 9 months ago. I think all the moves they've made, now assuming some health, I think all the moves they've made have put them in a situation where you would never even ask in a million years for Joe Musgrove to attempt to do that. Now, I respect a desire to do it. I'm hopeful, Jim, they wouldn't even need him in a complete one-off, have to have you scenario where you need an inning or 2 or 3 from this player a year after Tommy John. You got Randy Vasquez in AAA. You added Nestor Cortez. You've added JP Sears. You kept Dylan Cease. Why would you need Joe Musgrove to rush back to pitch for you in the most meaningful games of your season when he hasn't pitched in a year? It makes no sense to me unless everyone's arm fell off.
No sense. He is. Think about this. He is more important to this team next year than he would be this year. So with that being said, I'm not having him throw off a mound in a big league game at all this season. Sorry.
I agree. I think he's going to try, Jim. I really think he's going to try. I really think he's going to try.
Okay, well, then the team has to be smart and take the ball away from him.
Like, Joe, right? Look over there and then take the ball.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You love Joe's competitiveness, but sometimes, you got to be smart, not stupid here. I mean, would everybody love to see Joe out there in a postseason game, getting a couple outs that are key? Absolutely. But I don't know, man.
It doesn't make sense. What if there's a setback? What if he's not effective? It doesn't make. It's as simple as that. There's doing something that, I mean, he's rushed things before, by the way, as well. You almost have to take the ball from him for his own good. by not ramping up, you give him an extra 5 months until next February, March. Think about
And
that.
he's
Now it's
yeah.
not pitching October, November, December, January, February. You give him another 5 months. Why would you ramp up when theoretically you have another 5 months on your rehab on the other side to make you more effective in 2026? So you're going to hear a lot about it. I know Kevin's going to be writing about it, and I know people are going to be discussing it. I think people will have this maybe even false hope, like Joe Musgrove's coming back, and he's going to be a part of this rotation in September, or he's going to be pitching for this team in October. And I don't see that as the case, and I don't think it's smart or wise.
No, he is so important to next year's team. I can already see it now in the offseason when the Padres don't sign a starter. They're like, well, we acquired Joe Musgrove.
Definitely.
And next year, losing Cease, losing King, potentially, you're going to need Joe to step up with Pivetta and Sears and maybe Darvish if he returns, along with, either Randy Vasquez. I would say Stephen Kolek, but he's not here anymore, obviously. You're going to need Joe next year. And so for me, rehab, and be smart about this thing. Don't return.
Completely agree. No. Completely agree. We're going to get back to the conversation in a moment. About 530 of you are here live right now, many more on replay. Please subscribe. Less than 30 subscribers away from 9,100. We appreciate your super chats and super thanks if you're here on replay. Thank you to those that become members tonight as well with the custom emojis. We do want to thank our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz, who has been with us since day one of the wrap-up show. That is 4 years now on YouTube. If you have an insurance need, trust us. He's going to take care of you. He's saving you time and money. Whatever it is, auto, home, renter's life. I've got 3 insurance policies through Mark. Had to file a claim in 2022. Took care of everything. Saved us so much time and money. He's going to be there for you, whether you need him or not, whether you need to file a claim or not. He's a diehard Padres fan, a lifelong San Diegan. And if you support this channel, please get in contact with Mark. So click the link in the description down below. If you have an insurance need, before you renew, get in contact with Mark. Auto, home, renter's life, earthquake, whatever it is. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance is there for you. Free quotes online or free quotes by calling Mark at Farmers Insurance.
Yeah, all his information's on that ticker below. mnimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
I was trying to pull it up real quickly. I read something from Kevin this morning that said, I want to say Baltimore paid down Laureano and O'Hearn.
Oh, wow.
He said they took on between $1 and $2 million. And basically everyone they took on was at the minimum. Basically, everyone they took on.
Yeah, they must have really loved Boston Bateman.
Apparently, I mean, 6 players does kind of make sense. You're basically buying them for a little. I mean, it's not that much money that Baltimore is taking on in the grand scheme, but it's almost like you're buying players. And from the Padres' perspective, you're paying down salaries. And I could find it. Maybe someone has it. Put it in the chat. Something along the lines of each of the players they acquired are making hundreds of thousands of dollars the remainder of the year. No one is making millions. That's the premise of what Kevin wrote today, which is more of maybe a masterclass from AJ here at the deadline, that he literally, Jim, took on like $1 or $2 million of salary for the rest of the year.
That's pretty wild that he actually did that.
Yeah, I need to find the exact line. Let me find out the exact amount of money, because I read it this morning and I was like, oh, really? That's interesting.
Like, oh,
here we go. Updated accounting. The Padres got the contracts of Laureano and O'Hearn paid down by the Orioles to at or near the major league minimum. Wow. We already knew the Brewers did that with Cortez's contract. So that means the Padres upped their payroll even less than we thought, with every player they acquired at the deadline making less than $300,000 over the final 2 months of the season. And accounting for the salaries of Ryan Bergert and Stephen Kolek, the additional commitment amounts are less than $1.5 million.
So
how about that?
What this tells me is, with the Burger deal, with the Orioles deal, not the Burger deal, sorry, excuse me, with
Kolek,
Fermin, pretty much all the moves he made, if you want to view it as he overpaid for like Miller and Sears because of DeVries, and Boston Bateman, this organization was very high on Boston Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure if you're, Mad Friars, you're like, damn, they give up 6 and Boston Bateman, right? For a year plus of Laureano on a rental in O'Hearn. My guess is Preller said, yeah, we'll give you these prospects. You got to pay for the players that we're getting back. So it might be viewed as an overpay, but AJ's viewing it as like, I get those players essentially for free this year. Now, do I have to give up some pretty high prospects to get them back? Like, yeah, I do. But it makes sense because I'm not like giving up a high prospect and having to pay a bunch of money. Like, I'm giving up a high prospect, and in return, I get the player and the team pays for that player for us.
Yeah, and I didn't think about Kolek and Bergert having major league salaries in the conversation, but by them departing, they're not making what they were owed as well. So there's that cancellation as well. So it's kind of interesting. But interesting reporting from Kevin Acey that the Padres took on under $1.5 million and adding like 6 players to their major league roster. Enzo, thank you for becoming a member. We've had a few of you become members tonight. If you want to become a member, click the join button. You get the Miller Time emoji, Cortez the Killer, and Five Guys and others. So click that join button down below. You can gift memberships as well. James, appreciate you, man. He says, what are your thoughts on Kings? Did we talk about this? Maybe someone else asked. I'm not going to overreact to it. I'll react. I think reacting is fair, but I wouldn't. If he goes out in his first outing and goes 4 2/3 scoreless innings, amazing. If he goes out and goes 3 1/3 innings and allows 6 runs, horrific. But I'm going to judge it more off what he does in the major leagues personally. But we'll see how he feels, to your point.
And we also don't know, like, what he was truly working on. Maybe he was working on a pitch to make sure he feels good.
Absolutely.
And he didn't care where it went. I just want to throw it because I want to see if my arm can take it. And if I give up 20 runs, like, so be it. It's a rehab outing. Who gives a shit?
Doesn't matter.
And then if he feels good, he's like, okay, cool. And then next rehab start, he can go out and maybe have a more of a plan of attack, because you're not scouting who you're pitching against in the minors on a rehab start.
No, not at all.
You're not talking to your catcher there and being like, all right, how are we going to work this guy? Like, you're just going out, going through your routine, going max or close to max effort, and then making sure that you feel good after the start.
That's a great point. I mean, the results, it's like spring training. It's like, does the result really matter, or does your health matter? And working on whatever you need to work on for the regular season matter. So I don't think it's worth. Again, I think
I'm not worried until I need to be worried.
Yeah, I'll be worried if he comes back and is ineffective or not healthy. BFIC, thank you, man, for the super. He says the next 22 games is going to be a true litmus test for how well this team can play in the postseason. Games against LA, San Fran. Forget about San Fran. Although they did win a couple of games in New York, I know. Boston, Seattle, and Arizona. And I do think Arizona has a level of danger to them just because you're playing in Arizona, which has been a true nightmare for the Padres historically. So that's fair. I still think the schedule has lightened at least a bit here. It looks more manageable to me. We'll see if that's accurate or not. But you're right. I mean, all those games against LA and Seattle, I do think it's more of a challenge coming up, and then hopefully it lightens up in September for this team.
Yeah, after obviously the 2023 team went to the LCS with Bob Melvin, but ever since then, there's nothing a Bob Melvin managed team likes more than zero pressure applied.
Right.
Like when the Giants like made the trade for Devers and it was like, all right, pressure's on, go time, let's go out and play good baseball. They ended up playing like shit. And then now it's like they're clearly out of it. They go and take 2 or 3 from the Mets in New York.
Yep.
Sometimes, and we said this, by the way, we said there's going to be one of these teams or maybe multiple that's out of it, that sold off, waved the white flag. Inevitably, they just, for no reason whatsoever, get hot, or they go on a stretch, right? Now, they're not going to make the postseason, but they'll just like get hot. Like the White Sox, they'll just get, like the Rockies right now. They're, obviously they're playing like the Pirates and whatnot. But
right.
The Marlins are at 500 right now, guys. They've been playing some good baseball for a while.
They play great baseball. And you see they had I think they sold out a game this weekend.
They did.
Incredibly.
So yeah, sometimes the scariest teams are the teams with nothing to play for.
Completely. Yeah. No, that's a great point. I mean, that is a really good point. And Arizona, yeah. The thing I like is that the Padres are just playing well. It's not that I like their schedule when it lightens up, but I also like the Padres. You know what I mean? Like, it's not contingent on who they're playing. What I like is that the Padres are playing well. I don't just like that their schedule theoretically is going to lighten up.
Yeah, I agree. It's better that the Padres are playing well. Now, when we get to like the end of September, these teams that are out of it, they're checked out. Those games lighten up because all those teams have already booked their trips to Cancun. But in August, the teams that are around 500 and what, 5-6 out of a wild card spot, they're still playing hard. Some of them haven't completely checked out. So a lot of them have, but not all of them. Right. So these August games are scary. Once you get to like the middle of September and end of September, I mean, these teams they're checked out, right? They're done. So August schedule, yeah, it could be tricky.
I mean, it's kind of interesting you mentioned the Marlins. So the Marlins have won 5 straight, but they've only gained 1 game of the Padres over that stretch. I mean, they're still 6 games behind San Diego. That's sizable, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's nobody closer than the Reds to the Padres right now. They're 4 back. And then you look ahead of the Padres, and the Padres are only 1 game behind the Mets. And, they're closer to teams in front of them than teams behind them are to them. And that's why I just like the situation that they have. Plus, I like that they're playing well. So to me, it's less about being caught and more about catching from the Padres' perspective. And we'll see if that plays out or not. Keith, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super, guys. If you're here, subscribe. We're about 20-something subscribers away from 9,100. We need your help. Year-round content for Padres fans. Please subscribe. And thank you for the super chats. Click the dollar sign below the chat box like Keith. And thank you for the memberships as well. Click join down below. He says, you guys are right about Tatis. He's not the same hitter. I mean, the numbers would tell you that, right? The numbers would tell you that. I was looking at his game log. Maybe, I don't even know what it was, yesterday. Look at like his home runs since his start, since that fast start. He had a really good start in April. And then you look at June, Jim, he hit 2 home runs. You look at July, he hit 2 home runs. Obviously, he hasn't homered yet in August. It's only been 3 days. But, man, again, it's not the end-all, be-all stat. He doesn't have to have 1 million home runs to have a good year. But he's really testing he's testing the theory of like being a prodigious slugger when he's only hitting 2 home runs a month for multiple months in a row. Not to say it can't be turned around. And again, some of the numbers support him being a good offensive player, but some of them are like, what happened to that player that we saw years ago?
Yeah, the back of his baseball card is going to look pretty weird here if he never has a season close to 40 home runs again.
Right.
It's like 22, 17, 42, 25, 21, 17.
Right.
And by the way, in 2020, he hit 17 home runs in 59 games. This year, he's hit 17 and 110.
What's the math on 17 and 59? I mean, that's 34 and 120. Get a calculator out.
Can't ask me these questions. I can't do
17 divided by 59 equals times 162, as if you could ever play 162. That's 47 home runs. He was on pace for 47 home runs.
Because he missed only 1 game that 60.
Yeah, he only missed 1. But I mean, he was on pace for 47 home runs. Now he's going to hit like 47 home runs the rest of the decade. That's not true. It's not. But and we always say he's capable. But man, he's testing our patience on when's he going to have a 3 home run week. Is that going to happen this year?
I don't know. Here's the thing with Tatis. I will allow the power numbers to dramatically dip in the regular season. You know where I'm going with this.
Yep, I do.
If it means in the postseason, he plays like he did last postseason, where he was the most feared hitter until the Padres got eliminated. Where he hit 3-4 home runs in the postseason.
It was awesome.
Okay, if you're going to hit 23 bombs in the regular year, but you hit, 8 on in the postseason for the Padres on the way to the World Series, then I can be like, okay, that's fine.
Just listen to this real quick. This is his postseason last year. 1 for 3 homer, 2 RBIs against Atlanta with a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Then 3 for 3 with a walk. No homers, no RBIs. LA, first game, 2 for 4 double walk. Second game, 3 for 4 double, 2 home runs, 10 total bases. Probably one of the greatest games in Padres postseason history. He has another one of them against St. Louis in COVID. So 10 total bases in that game. Then he homers the next day against the Dodgers.
He goes
homers.
1 for 4. He had 4 homers in 7 games.
Yep. And then the game that they don't score, he actually doubled in. And then he was 0 for 4, like the rest of humanity in that awful game 5 at Dodger Stadium. But man, he carried them. He carried them for that short run that they had last year in October.
Yeah, man. It's it is what it is. It sucks to watch Tatis not be that prolific power hitter anymore. But thankfully he's a Gold Glove right fielder. And at least he's healthy right now. So
well, it's interesting you say that, and I'm not going to go to the Pittsburgh game. I'm going to go to this next super chat, but let me just pull it up. This next super says, I'm positive, and thank you, Gabe, for your super chat. It says, I'm positive Tatis' shoulder is not 100%. I remember a game where he overextended it against, I want to say that was the game in Sacramento. That's when his power dipped. I'm willing to go back and look at that day because that was so early on. I'm just curious, what day was that? I thought that was in like April. Didn't you?
The Pittsburgh game? What?
I'm thinking of that game. Remember he missed a game in Sacramento?
Oh, yeah. That was like the start of the season.
It was. That was April 8th, though. I mean, before that moment, he had only hit 2 home runs.
Okay.
So I don't think his power dipped as a result of the Oakland game or the Sacramento games. He's actually had 15 home runs since. But some people do tie it, Jim, to your point, to that Pittsburgh game.
Where he got nailed in the forearm and thought his season was over.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd love to know his numbers from that moment on, but I don't have them in front of me.
Do I have to ask Kevin tomorrow if is Tatis fully healthy?
I mean, he's going to say that according to his reporting, he is, and nobody's going to talk about him not being healthy, and he plays every day, But, I mean, we should maybe jot it down again. But then again, are we going to use that as an excuse? He's never going to be healthy. He's had his shoulder done. He's had his wrist done. He broke his leg. How many things have occurred from the time he was a prospect that he missed a season, right? Didn't he slide into second base and miss the remainder of a season with a wrist that one year when he was super young? Then he was in the big leagues the next year, subluxing his shoulder constantly. Like what else? He had the incidents in the off seasons, obviously, right? Yeah. When he lied about his broken, was that a wrist? What was that?
The wrist, the groin, the back. He's had a back problem. The stress reaction last year.
He's basically the body of he's 26. He's got the body of a 36-year-old. I honestly think that's true. I think the rigors have had an impact on him.
I'm trying to think here because I remember back after his 42 home run season when he, had all those subluxations and everything. And I think there was a report out that he did not want to get surgery because we're like, get surgery. And one of the reasons why he didn't want to get surgery is because he saw what happened to Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, I remember.
When Cody Bellinger subluxed his shoulder in that World Series in 2020. And he was never the same after that. Now, I want to see Cody Bellinger did have, a resurgence here in Chicago and in New York. He's got 20 homers and 65 RBIs this year, but I'm just looking to see. Yeah, so 2019, Cody Bellinger had 47 home runs. And then 2020, 12 home runs, whatever. But 21, 22. Yeah, he's not had more than 26 home runs since his 2019 47 home run year. His first 3 seasons in the big leagues, 39 homers, 25 homers, 47 homers. And then he proceeded again after the shoulder surgery, the same thing as Tatis. 12 home runs, 10 home runs, 19, 26, 18, and then 20 this year.
Interesting. I mean, I would say that if he never had the shoulder surgery, he just never would play because he probably would have been constantly running into shoulder issues. And this is interesting from Steven, who says in basically a half a year, Jim, since he's hit 237 with a 386 slug. Now, again, his on base has been good because he's always on base. He's walking. But yeah, I mean, his numbers have been, again, everyone's always telling me, oh, you're not watching the game. Like Tatis is this elite. I'm like, yeah, he's a good fielder. You know, he gets caught stealing more than I like for a guy that quote unquote is, a speed demon. It was caught again today. I think it was caught yesterday or Friday as well. But he's been fine. But let's be honest. I mean, that's not a great 78 games, Jim, for a star of stars. That like we've been sold on a star of stars making $340 million. That's very pedestrian for a guy in that stratosphere in this sport.
Yeah, he went from an elite top 5 hitter in the sport to average.
Yeah, I mean, maybe above average, but not.
I'm not talking about overall player because I know if I say that, someone will be like, "Well, Jim, look at his defense. Defense would make him a great player." I'm talking about just purely hitting with Tatis. Dude was top 5 in the sport. If you want to say top 10, just go for it. I won't criticize you. Top 10 in the sport. He's average. Like, that's a crazy drop, dude.
What's his slugging percent? Like, I'm looking right now at like top 50 slugging percentages in baseball, right? Just click on slugging percentage at MLB.com. Like, where the hell is he?
He's in like the 60s. He's in the 50s or 60s.
Like, what? That's insanity. Like, that's the most telling stat.
Right. His slugging percentage this year is
he's 68th.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
442.
He's 442, which is the lowest of his career by far. And it's right now the lowest since the 2023 season. 2023 was 449. Last year was 492. This year right now is 442.
Like, Machado's 19th in slug at 501. You're 68th. Like, what? Ryan O'Hearn has a higher slug than Fernando Tatis Jr. Like, that should be perceived as a problem if you're Toddy. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. And it's not a one-off season either. If it was a one-off season, I'd be like, he's having a bad year or down year. This is a trend. This is kind of feels like who he is now. He went from an elite hitter to slightly, I wouldn't say slightly above, but he's just like he went from top 10 to a top 60 hitter in the sport. Like, that's how I would view it. He went from a top 10 hitter. He went from top 10 to he's 60th.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. We're going to get back to this conversation. Do want to remind you about our friends over at SeatGeek. Maybe you're trying to get back to Petco and the Padres come back home to take on the Red Sox coming up in just a few days. You can do that, and you can take $20 off your first order of $50 or more with promo code PODSWRAP at SeatGeek. That's right. We've come through for you guys. Use the promo code PADSWRAP. You're going to get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek, your order of $50 or more. That's your first purchase of $50 or more. Just click the link in the description, download the app, have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. And we do want to thank our friends over at SeatGeek. And listen, this is going to be a big series, obviously. Friday night, Red Sox in town, section 301, right behind home plate, and get in. $80 including fees, take $20 off. So a pair for $160 with fees becomes $140, and so on and so forth. So get there this upcoming weekend, whatever the event is. Make sure to use SeatGeek and make sure to use our promo code PADSWRAP.
Yeah, SeatGeek's MLB's official ticket marketplace. So your tickets, they're fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. Just use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek for your first order.
That's exactly right. All right, let's get back to the conversation, guys. Please subscribe. We're within maybe 24 of 9,100 subscribers, and thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box, and thank you to those that become members as well to get those emojis and badges. All right, so let's get to this one. We can go off topic for a moment here, Jim, from James. He says, and thanks, James. He says, Jim, your thoughts on Cena's last run / SummerSlam?
You have no idea what this is,
weekend?
right? It was last night and it was today. All right. Can you give me like 2 minutes on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go. Let me close the garage.
Go look at some cards real quick.
Here's what I'm going to do, just so people know. I'll stare at my freaking phone, which is in rice because it ended up in water and now it doesn't work. And look, I don't have enough rice. It doesn't even like sit in it properly.
Yeah, that's not how that you should do that. You should put it in a cup and then you put it like in a.
You know what? I'm going to do that while you talk.
Yeah, put it in the cup.
That's
all right. Just humor me, chat, for a minute here. The John Cena last run started out epic with the heel turn and elimination chamber.
It works. It's on.
Nice. Scroll.
Good. It works. It scrolls.
That's great.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. The heel turn at elimination chamber was like a top 10 WWE moment in the history of wrestling. It was incredible. They fumbled his heel turn. There were some good moments in the heel turn. There were some not so good moments in the heel turn. I thought the reasoning why he turned heel didn't make much sense, and I blame The Rock for that, for not being there at WrestleMania. The WrestleMania match with Cody was awful. To have that finish was just ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, randomly, on Friday Night SmackDown, he turns babyface because Cody beat him into turning babyface. It just didn't make sense. I thought the match tonight was good, wasn't great. And then the Lesnar return was like, what the fuck? Okay. SummerSlam, the best moment was last night, which was Seth Rollins returning. And he was faking his injury this whole time. He worked us, and he cashed in and took the championship from Punk. Okay, that's it.
I don't care, but that sounds good. It sounds fun. I wasn't listening. Thank you, James, for the super. Stay tuned for WrestleMania coming up in San Diego in like a week or whatever. Deadbeat Sports Dad, thank you for the super chat. He says Tatis's exit velocity and bat speed are still top of the charts. Still all mental with him. He's not lifting the ball at all. Well, he isn't. That's 100% true. But can I just give you an example? And hear me out. This is everything we need to know. How have we not mentioned this tonight?
What?
Padres are down 8-4 in the ninth inning yesterday. They rally. Mm-hmm. It's 8-5-2 on. There's Tatis. All of a sudden at the plate, represent the tying run. Yep. He gets a hold of a ball and flies out to the warning track and right. Now, it's one at bat. It's one plate appearance. It's one moment. It's not the end all be all, but when you are struggling to hit for power like he has, and when he's hitting everything on the ground and not lifting the ball, when you do lift the ball, and he thought he got it. Look at his reaction. He kind of jumps up and down, right? Like, that reaction. I'm just using my eyes. And you could tell me the ball's wound differently, or it's hard to hit. All the things are accurate. It's not like Petco has proved to be a great home run hitting yard in 2025. But dude, Tatis in 2021 in that exact same spot, lifting the ball, that ball goes out, and it didn't in 2025. I don't know exactly as to why, but I'm just telling you that it's not all mental, because he's hitting the ball in the air in that example. And he flies out, and he hits a ball 350 feet that he needs to hit 375 feet or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't think Tatis is as feared of a hitter as he used to be. I don't, because he's not making mistake pitches into home runs. He's not making the pitcher pay for a mistake. And all throughout his first 3 seasons, if you made a mistake to Tatis, that thing's 450 feet. Now, roll it over, just miss it, right? warning track. Don't get me wrong. He'll get a hold of one, but it's not as frequent as it used to be, where he can, and even some good pitches that the pitcher throws. You're like, how did he get a hold of that one? Right? The backspin, he just doesn't have that anymore. And it's not. I'm sorry, but he did this to himself. Okay. And
yeah, it's more injuries to me than the suspension. You know what I mean? Like, don't you think? I go back to that offseason injury that was stupid, and he had to have like the surgery redone. You know, that to me was very dumb. I mean, so was the suspension, but to me, that offseason injury was very absurd and childish.
Yeah, I mean, but people just like, hey, forget about it. Like, oh,
Yeah,
Tatis is amazing.
Okay.
He's great. It's like, you guys realize he potentially fucked this franchise for what he did by taking PEDs and then lying about an injury that made an injury even worse, right?
Well, certainly screwed them in this. I mean, they thought when they traded for Juan Soto, they'd have Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, think about that. As I've said, you've heard me say it, as I've said, he owes them one.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that still holds true.
If owes them one means that, you know, and you kind of thought that was going to happen last year with his postseason. Yep. 4 homers in 7 games. You're like, ridiculous. Holy shit, here we go. Yep. Right? Yep. But if you're not going to be this regular season power hitter, then you better be a postseason power guy.
Yeah, 100%. LCBM, thank you, man, for the super. It says Toddy will always feel our heat because of $340 million. Mm-hmm. If his contract was 10 for 100, no one is bringing up his play. 340 sets our expectations. That's a great point. I mean, look at the Merrill deal, right? I mean, Merrill's not supposed to be a 42 home run hitter. The Merrill deal is a lot different than the Fernando Tatis Jr. deal. You could certainly make the argument that Jackson Merrill is just as popular in San Diego as Fernando Tatis Jr. at this time. Not to say Tatis isn't popular, but they're both popular. But yes, perception is reality. The perception is Fernando Tatis Jr. is one of the top players in the sport based on that contract. Now, contracts have changed, but 340 is 340. And, you know, it's hard to live up to that. We've said that a lot with players. And you're right. He'll live up to it based on his postseason accolades. Simple as that. Gonna have to come through.
And what's tough too is after the 2021 season, because he signed the contract before the 2021 year, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
So post-COVID?
Yeah.
I kind of remember it like that, but
because he got hurt
maybe
in the 2020 leading up to 2022 in the offseason. Right?
Yes. In the offseason between 2021 and 2022, he lied about the injury and pretended like he didn't break his hand, but he actually did, or whatever it was.
So he signed the contract the previous offseason, and he went out there, proceeded to go have 42 home runs in the 2021 year. Correct?
If that's the timeline, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the timeline. Because it was after the 2020 season when he signed the contract. The thought was, holy shit, in like 5 years, this contract's going to look really good. If he continues to play like this, guy hits 40 home runs every year. That's more than a $30 million player, right? We thought the contract would look good if he was going to hit between 35 and 40 home runs every season.
Sure.
I mean, that player nowadays, shit, they could go for like 450. So you're like, damn, all right, the contract's going to look good, because if Tatis continues to play like this over the next 5 years, it's like a bargain. Well, now it's like, not so much. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not worth the contract, but it's if he's like either right at it or right below it. You know, we all thought he was going to exceed and be better than the contract that he was given.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, he's still 26 years of age, so things can absolutely change, but we'll see how they change moving forward for Toddy. Steven, appreciate you. He says, love the show, but I'm unsubscribing if you ever start talking about that wrestling shit again. On another note, Razor Ramon looked great today.
Hold on.
So I think he's kidding.
Yeah, you can't. He's kidding, because you can't tell me to not talk about wrestling and then use a wrestling nickname. Actually, not even a nickname. It's just a wrestler.
He's kidding.
I know.
He's kidding. Yeah. but I'm unsubscribing as well. All right, we do want to thank our friends over at Underdog Fantasy, the best and easiest place to play fantasy sports. Make sure to take advantage of our promo code. Click that link in the description down below. You're going to get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Their best offer yet if you use the promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWREP. You heard me right, 50% deposit match up to $1,000, plus a free gimme pick. Let's go down this path again. Padres will be in the desert taking on Arizona. JP Sears is scheduled to make his Padres debut. Let's take him for higher than 4.5 strikeouts. Let's do something that's never worked once this year. Let's take Tatis higher than a half home run. And let's take Brandon Pfaadt.
Is it
or Pfaadt, or whatever the hell his name is.
Brandon Pfaadt.
To have lower than 4.5 strikeouts. If that happens, $10 pays $151. But we get more creative than that. We could say Manny homers. Shoot, Xander homers. Did anyone see Xander's pop up on the infield that was a single today because the ball wasn't seen in the sun? That's how you know you're going well when you're getting hits like that. He had one yesterday as well, a ground ball in the infield that went for a base hit. Anyway, if all that happens, which it won't, I don't think Bogarts, Machado, and Tatis all homer tomorrow. But if they do, your $10 pays $2,500. You can flex it. You can still get one wrong and still win big. Use the promo code PADSWREP and get the 50% deposit match plus the free gimme pick.
Yeah, there's a QR code above my head right here. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to the App Store to download Underdog Fantasy if you haven't already. And make sure when you download it, use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, to start playing today.
All right, guys, let's do this again. Appreciate you, Jenny. And thank you to those that have helped us get to 9,000 subscribers on this channel, which is crazy. And we'll get to 10,000 with your help, hopefully by the postseason, and hopefully many more once this Padres team gets to the postseason here in 2025. So good weekend. Padres have won 7 of the last 8. They'll be in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks tomorrow. We will get you ready for that series tomorrow on John and Jim. And then, of course, we'll be back with you on the wrap-up show as well. But we'll have Kevin Acee join us from the desert. And then we'll be back with you following game 1 of that series tomorrow night right here on the wrap-up show. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Like Jenny said, we'd love to get to 9,100 subscribers with your help. Thank you for the super chats and the super thanks. We appreciate those that become members as well and support our partners. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, a title sponsor for 4 years. Our friends at Humboldt Casino, SeatGeek, and Underdog Fantasy as well. We appreciate you guys. Padres win the series. They win on Sunday over the Cardinals. And for Jim, I'm John. This has been the wrap-up show. Thanks, guys.
Peace.